Secretary of State Marco Rubio meeting with India's Prime Minister today, just 1 week after President Trump's meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. But the White House also focused on Europe. The president is putting NATO on notice. Earlier this week, he announced 5,000 troops will be sent to Poland right after the Pentagon scaled back America's military presence in Europe. So that about-face comes as NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte calls on European countries to boost defense spending and buy more American-made weapons ahead of the next NATO summit. Joining me now, Kiron Skinner, former Director of Policy Planning for the State Department, also a Fox News contributor. Great to see you, Kiron. So what are we seeing here? Is this all the art of the deal with President Trump in pressuring NATO, or do you think we're seeing a genuine and long-lasting change in the relationship between the U.S. and NATO allies?
I think we're seeing a major restructuring of the NATO alliance, and not all of it is due to President Trump, though Secretary Rubio was very clear, firm, and unvarnished in his comments that the U.S. has been reassessing its global commitments, and that NATO and Europe more broadly can expect a lighter U.S. footprint going forward, given the sheer amount of commitments the U.S. has around the world. I think that was a major takeaway from this summit. But something else is going on that's, I think, more fundamental, and that is within Europe, within the EU, and within NATO, and some countries are in both. There is a debate, disagreement, conversation, however you want to put it, about the Ukraine war. There's not equal burden sharing, and not all nations are happy with it. The Baltics, the Nordic states, the Netherlands, and Poland are carrying much of the burden to support Ukraine. And they would like to see a better distribution of the responsibility. Meanwhile, the Secretary General, Mark Rutte of NATO, wants to dramatically increase aid to Ukraine from about $45 billion in the past year to really triple that amount going forward.
So,
but
Kiron,
who will pay?
What does... I get the impression that there's a certain gentleman sitting in the Kremlin in Moscow thinking, hey, this is good for me. Is it?
I don't think so, because war often it makes nations do better on many fronts. They innovate. They come up with technological solutions. For example, Estonia, it can't defend itself as a military force against Russia, but it has increased its technological skill. So Putin has unleashed on Europe some big decisions around its own defense. The debates are taking place. The burden sharing is not exactly equal, but the technological commitments, the commitments to a more robust defense industrial base, all of that's happening, and that's not good for Putin.
All right. Kiron Skinner, we're a little tight for time, but thank you so much for spending part of your Memorial Day weekend with us, and come back to L.A. soon, Kiron. We miss you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.